Come on, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. You know what it is. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Recording this Monday, June 10th, 2024, day after the Boston Celtics have officially gone up 2-0 against the Dallas Mavericks in the 2024 NBA Finals, all right? And I am picking, as much as I would love to see Kyrie get one and really stick it to all those assholes that was talking a lot of shit just a couple years ago. I do believe that Boston is going to walk away with the championship, all right? And when they do, when and if they do, regardless of who wins the finals, all right, the real MVP of the series is not a player. In my opinion, based on everything I watched yesterday and the game before, the two games, every Boston game I've watched, in my opinion, and if you really look at the scope of work, all right, it's important that we don't just go based off 1 year, but we got to look at the scope of work and everything that has been done throughout all of the trials and tribulations of an organization. This is what we got to take away from sports and how we apply it to our businesses to make it so things are moving as efficiently as we see the Boston Celtics business moving, all right? The real MVP is Brad Stevens, guys. The real MVP, the real architect is Brad Stevens, and keeping that organization, keeping the reputation of that organization as strong as it is used to being because of his leadership and his ability to put the right pieces of the puzzle, put the right pieces where they need to be, and make it so that team looks like a fucking team, all right? Understand their superstar, quote unquote, their superstar, Jason Tatum, had 18 points yesterday, and he dominated. I mean, he did a great job defensively. He did a good job affecting other parts of the game, but he doesn't also have to be the scorer because the guys up top, the president, the ones that are making the personnel decisions, had the presence of mind to bring in a Jrue Holiday, bring in Kristaps Porzingis to take over the scoring when, hey, JT has an off night or Jaylen Brown has an off night, or they have the presence of mind to keep a guy like a Derek White who's doing his thing and really made the play to seal the game last, even though it was a foul. But, at the end of the day, it was a great hustle play on Derek. It wasn't a foul on Derek White. It was a foul, I believe, I think it was Jaylen Brown who, touched him in his back. But at the end of the day, hey, no harm, no gain. Hey, all's well that ends well. But Derek White was doing his thing. You see a team, all right? And what I mean by that, the reason I made sure I took you through the scope of work is I want you guys to understand everything that organization has been through, all right? First and foremost, we're going to start with Kyrie Irving, the guy I mentioned before, and I would love to see him get a ring to really stick it to all these quote-unquote basketball experts and people that told him he needs to retire and called him selfish for not taking the vaccine and doing all, just a bunch of just shit that was just completely personal, and you just didn't need to say certain things about a guy professionally, the way, the heat that he had to take, right? But there was a time where he was in Boston and he got on he was like, I believe it was like a ceremony or something that they had going on, and he's on camera saying that he will be back with the Boston Celtics for free agency before he decided to go to the Brooklyn Nets. And then he goes to the Brooklyn Nets and he plays Boston one game and he's flicking them off. He's going at it with the fans. He was supposed to be their star, but at the end of the day, Brad Stevens found people to replace him, found people to keep the organization moving cohesively, and they turned out better since that time. All right, so you get that, and then you had your kind of your rock star head coach in Ime Udoka, who took his team to the finals. This was around the time they lost to Golden State, I believe, but there was a very promising future. Took his team to the finals, did a very good job, and then he got caught up with his scandal, and he's, fucking some hoes in the organization or some shit like that. Some shit went down, and, they had to let the head coach go. Okay, so the organization was able to move forward, bring in a very qualified coach, and he's pretty much kept the team intact. Last year, they have a disappointing year. I believe I'm a Miami Heat fan, but Miami Heat beats them in 7 games. They come back. They get rid of one of the main contributors to the team. His name was Marcus Smart. They get rid of him. They bring in a Jrue Holiday. They bring in a Kristaps Porzingis again. All these moves, all these things are happening in the front office, and that's where Brad Stevens, the team president, the guy that, in my opinion, like I said, is the real MVP. And when you look at these things, when you understand these things, you can you can take them and apply them to your business to understand, there's certain people who fit certain well in certain places, in certain positions. And if you are able to focus your energy on that, understand Brad Stevens started at a small market college basketball coach for Butler University, and he was the architect to build that program into the powerhouse they are, and he's able to do the same thing. And that sometimes that means giving up the head coach title and focusing more on the team president, front office, general manager title to make sure that the right pieces are in place for your business to run smoothly. These are the things that sometimes you may have to give up certain titles, give up certain things that you enjoy doing for the betterment of the organization. That's the example he's setting. That's the thing that we got to take away when we're watching the Boston Celtics and their success and how well they're doing. And even for that matter, the Dallas Mavericks, they have a very well-run organization as well. Mark Cuban has been known for years to make it so players speak very highly of them. They lost to Porzingis. They were able to bring in a Kyrie and, get the pieces right to make it so they make a run. So it's a great finals to watch, more so from a business standpoint, because we can see how things are run the right way, when things are run accordingly, how well oiled they look, because you give yourself an opportunity every single year. And those are the things that we got to be taken away from the game, and how we can take the lessons, the ways that we watch teams being built, how we could take those lessons and apply them to our businesses. All right. Main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyourmove.com. That's MAKEYAMOVE.com. It is a one-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.